I'm doing a little short exploratory dig here, and to try to find places to go. And I'm along a little dead-end creek, behind some yards, and I'm coming across some stuff. And it's interesting, but I don't think it's too old. Here you have, that looks like an old Orange Crush bottle or something of that nature from the 60s. This is the only interesting one, but I already know what it is. It's a crest. Yeah, sun crest, and it's a newer type. It's not my interest anyway, but what's up here? I think this is a Mountain Dew or something, was it? Oh no, it was one of those H and what do they call it? H and E. The Scottish guy on there. He's popular in this area. The bottler was pretty successful with him. It seems like there's a little bit of trash down here, but it doesn't look old enough. So I'm going to keep mosey on down the lane here, and it's a beautiful day, a little overcast, but nice weather. I'll be out seriously digging a couple of days from now, and in the meantime, I'm just out for a stroll, but who knows what I'll find. And there we go. Well, I'm in a different part of another woods, and I came across an area with some stuff in it. I've got a wheat penny, it looks like. I can't tell you what it is. A little marked soldier, and a nice swirly marble, and of course a cap. There's older stuff laying around here, so I want to look a bit longer and see what I can come up with. A lot of homeless in this area, so I gotta be careful of where I'm going because I don't want to disturb them, if you know what I mean. So this is what I've got so far. Well, I found what I was looking for, a Coke, and not only did I find a Coke, but it's a Ridgeland, a very rare Coke, and not in this area so much, but nevertheless, it's from a very small town, so I'm happy to come across at least one solid Coke for today, and it is originally South Carolina. So there we have it, my find for the day. I'm out on a construction site today, and I'll be going around into some no man's land to find what I can find. I'm not going too far from home today. I don't trust the weather. Anyway, going up on these piles, I just noticed I knocked this out of the knocked this out of the dirt. It's an old, I don't know what that is, but it's a hand-blown chemist bottle, so this might have potential, this area. It's all full of stuff, so let's see what else we can pull out of here, and we'll be having a lot of fun today. So let's get started. Well, I put the phone away too soon because right next to that we've got another little brown blown in the mold sitting there. I don't know what would have been in there, but there we go, 2 in a row. Let's keep going. Well, this is what I expect to get into today, really. I'm not expecting a lot. I'm looking for soda bottles primarily, so they will show up. They're not around here as of yet, but this is the kind of stuff you're going to find in late 50s, early 50s dump. I might save that. There's a Borden's with Elsie the cow on it, if you can see that. Very hard to see, but that's a cool thing. Yeah, it's got a Borden's. But you know, sun-colored soda bottle neck, some blue. I don't know what that is. Whiskey with a cork top whiskey, so something may show up. We never sign off until we sign off. So let's keep going. I wouldn't even show these bottles if there were more of them around. Number 3 in the blown in the mold department here. But it looks like what happened is somewhere they dug in to a bunch of milk bottles. There's shards of milks everywhere. I mean, older milks, not Elsie the cow milks. These are, some of them are turning purple, so I noticed that. But yeah, there's bottoms to milk bottles. That's a wine, but a lot of milk bottles in this area. If there's any hole, I'll dig them out. Let me go snoop around and see what I can come up with. So let's keep going. Well, they sort of hit pay dirt here. I just walked over to a site where, part of the site where they, it's a cool little bottle. They hit into the main vein of the dump that was here, the dump from the 1950s. So this is all 1950s trash. This is one of those bottles that they use for, you know, blood. It hung down on a I don't know, a wire, and it fed insulin to people. You see them. Here's a typical transitional. Well, check this out. Check that out. That's a Borden's. That side's pretty toasted. This side's okay. And there you got a 1950s Borden's transitional milk bottle from the 50s. Definitely from the 50s. And it has our friend Elsie on it. So looking through this, I'm not too interested. Here's even some newspapers. Yeah, things just, they get in mud and they usually disappear. But this is, what did I do? Okay, let's see if I can extract the date off of here. Hold on. You can still hear me. Well, folksy woksies, although you can't see this, I'm trying to take this I'm trying to take, sorry about all that. I sort of dropped my camera, but yeah, as I continue to say, this is all 50s stuff, late 50s, 55, 56, so you're not going to find anything too revealing here. A lot of the stuff you see today, it's might be in plastic now, but there's a Kerr. That's the only thing you're going to probably find in Boss. There's some form of heavy soda bottle, but being the 50s, there's nothing on it, as you can see. It's, I don't know what kind of soda that was. And these jars, these little halfway medicine bottles, and this, that, and the other thing. I'm not interested in it, so I'm going to keep going and see if I can find more interesting trash, okay? So, leave you with this. That's interesting. So leave you with this for now. Well, blown in the mold 4. It's already turning purple, if you can see that. So we're still going strong with these. That's so number 4. It's weird. Here's a bottle sticking out of this. I mean, It's like nothing's in it except this bottle right here so far. Okay. And what wouldn't it be without finding a bromo? They're the most prolific bottle, I think, in the world. Because no matter where I go, I'll find them in one form or another. This is an early machine made. Cool. Bromo bottle. A little purple bottle. We're okay. We're not doing great, but we're alright. It's still a fun day. Well, let's do some live digging. I just pulled this out, scraping along here. And I was using my shovel because of the fact that this is pretty condensed dirt, believe it or not. Of course, now that I want to live dig, I can't seem to get down to anything here. Maybe over here. I think there's more stuff here. More iron. There's glass, but I don't know if it's anything now. But they're in a layer here. And you can see there's stuff in this crappy stuff. I just can't pull out anything right now. It just seems as that's how it goes. So that's the live dig for now. I'll keep going. There's stuff up here too, some blue glass. And what's this? It's like a top to a bottle of some sort. There's a bottle right there, and I don't know what kind it is. I don't know. It says absorbing junior. That's what this one is. At least you got to see me dig one bottle out of freaking earth here. But I'm not expecting to find great stuff. If I come up with an oddball Coke or something, I'll be happy. But other than that, I don't really see any potential here or anything. This is really just a rough area. But I have high hopes. So who knows? You never know. That's the fun thing about doing this. See you in a little bit. Well, I just dug up a 1950s milk bottle, and it's definitely from the 50s. You can see there's two people on here, and it looks like, I don't know what they've got. For your health, that's the words on that side. On this side, it says, well, let's look at Annette's. It's milk kitties, pasteurized. That's definitely a 50s milk. I'm not necessarily going to keep anything like that, but that is how the milks looked in the 50s. A little bit more and then I'm going to go. Well, a short little review of some of the things I came across in this several videos. I went out 2 or 3 times scouting around looking for stuff, and in urban areas it's really difficult, so I didn't do as well as I hoped I would, but I think tomorrow I'm going out to a dump, so I should come up with some interesting things. But in the meantime, let me just review some of the small bottles that I came up with in the last sojourn around. Let's start out with just these no account little. There's a little machine made. It's an early Owens, probably 1920. or so. It's nothing much. It's just a little amber bottle which takes a cork. The other interesting bottle is this little tiny soda bottle I got the other day in a pile of 50s things. And what's interesting about this is this guy right here. If you can see, looks like a leprechaun, or I really don't know what he's supposed to be, with a little derby, big ears. Maybe he's a leprechaun or an elf of some kind. Anyway, he's on this little bottle which has nothing else on it, so I'm assuming it was some kind of drink bottle for kids. Who knows? But that's an interesting one. I don't know what it is. It's a machine made pretty late, I would imagine, 1950s. Now here's a bottle that I overlooked when I was down in Florida. My sister came across it amongst other old stuff under a building that I was walking around but didn't really check underneath the building. And it's an Orlando bottle called Take-A. And don't mistake this with Take-A-Cola, because it's not the same company. There's an earlier bottle out called Take-A-Cola, which was under a lot of scrutiny, and there was a lot of discord about it with the Coca-Cola, one of the companies that got sued by Coke for using the word cola. Not this one though. This was founded in 1947, so it's a late bottle. Underneath you see the late Owens bottle company, and you see a 56 there. So this is a late bottle, but it's heavily embossed. It's a chocolate drink, and it says, if you can see it, it says enjoy Take-A chocolate, hot or cold. It's pleasing always, and the minimum contents, the property of Take-A Beverage Corporation, Orlando. So this is a cool late embossed bottle. I appreciate these, considering that this is on the cusp of bottles that in this time period were going into pyro and paper labels, and companies weren't putting out the money to emboss their bottles. But this one is an interesting one. 1956 Take-A. Another early 50s bottle is from a big company called Borden's. Now Borden's started way back in, I think, the 1850s. They are the guys who pretty much invented or marketed condensed milk, and that's when they started, and they really made it big. They were one of the companies, like many of them, like Warner's and a few others, that made a lot of money during the Civil War by selling condensed milk to the Union Army. And after that, it just grew exponentially until it became the largest liquid milk producer in the world at one point. And they're still in business, of course, and they make glue, they make all kinds of stuff. But on this little bottle, I saved it. The pyro is really bad, as you can see, but there is still some ghost image of the big, their famous mascot, Elsie the cow. Now, Elsie started, I think, 1930s, 36 or 37, somewhere around there. They introduced Elsie. And all through the 40s and the 50s, she was their symbol. And she had a family with her Elmer Glue. He's the dude who's the bull who's advertised that. And they had a little calf, and they really promoted it in the late 40s and early 50s. This is a 50s bottle, and although there isn't much on this, I don't have a hard time looking at the markings on this. It is a Owens, Illinois, and it looks like it's maybe a 55. So that makes sense here. There it is, 1955 milk with Borden's, the largest milk producer in the world at one time. And this one, now I have several older versions of this Absorbine Junior bottle. Now, again, this is a Owens, Illinois, and it looks like it's a 53. And the story with this was Wilbur and his wife, Wilbur Young and his wife, started this way back in the 1860s, and they started absorbing as a horse liniment. And during the Civil War and all that time period, it was very popular. But I don't think he went back as far as the Civil War. I'm mistaken on that one. But around the 1880s and 1890s, they definitely were producing liniment. Now, in 1903, people found out, or came to the realization, that not only did absorbine work for horses, but it worked for people too. So in 1903, they put out this product, Absorbine Junior, and this was for human consumption, to rub on yourself. So it became very popular all the way up until even now. This company is still in business. The W.A. Young Company, I think it's called. The Young Company is still in business, and they still produce absorbine for horses primarily. I guess it's out there for humans. I've never used it personally, and it's probably out there in some obscure, grocery store. But interesting that this thing has been around, this company's been around for many, many years, and it is probably, I hate that. Anyway, that it is. This is a 1950s version, I'd say 54, 50. The dump that this stuff comes out of, this, and this, had a small window, from what I gather, from my experience, somewhere in the early 50s, they started dumping there, not in large quantity, maybe 2 or 3 foot level to fill in a swamp, it appears. And they didn't go very far beyond 55. I think by 55, they'd stopped dumping there. So most of the bottles that you'll find there, if they date, they don't date any later than 54, 53, 54, and 55. So these bottles are all in the 50s, and in this is probably 1920s, definitely 1920s with that Owens in the diamond. So 29, I think that symbol was finished. So there you go. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to get out and do some serious finding. In the meantime, this is a lot of fun to just find this stuff that I actually remember as a kid. So Coca-Cola I don't remember, but fun to find it. There you have it. Talk to you later.